Hey guys, I'm back with a new Genshin Impact video today. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Ganyu. If Ganyu is worth getting in your team, there is Ganyu today in the new banner. And I will basically help you guys in choosing if you guys should be spending those Primogems for her or not. So let's jump right into it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. It's free and I really appreciate it. And let's check it out. Now, the first reason for getting Ganyu in your team is she's a GOAT. She's the GOAT. Literally, she's the GOAT. But if that is not enough to convince you, let's talk about Ganyu real quick. Off the bat, I've been playing a little bit around with her, and off the bat, I can already say she's a secondary sub DPS, and or she could be used as a support. I don't see her being a main DPS, mainly because she's a bow and all of her skills are more AoE based and aggro based. And the nice thing about her is she's a cryo character. Now, the bad thing is releasing her when they release Dragon Spine, right after Dragon Spine, because Dragon Spine is just cryo. She won't be doing that much damage around there, but except from that, cryo is super useful in adding super conduct, melt, and a lot of different effects. And I prefer cryo more than any other character or elements. And let's talk about her skills real quick. Now, if you are looking for a secondary DPS support or you don't have many cryo options, she's great for the team. The reason is, let's think about Amber. You guys know Amber, right? You can like pretend she's like a super strong Amber, but as a cryo. And what do I mean with this? Like, first of all, we have her E skill, Trail of the Killing. I probably said it completely wrong. It's basically a flower that she puts down. Its duration lasts for 6 seconds and the cooldown is 10 seconds. So you should be able to put them out pretty frequently. And what is super nice with it is it aggroes targets, it adds cryo effects, aggroes them, and if anybody comes close or it breaks, it will do a cryo damage when it finally breaks. So it will add nice cryo effect and it will assemble a lot of enemies. If you're fighting several monsters, like let's say you're doing the first rounds of Abyss, Spiral Abyss, you can gather mobs together and get their aggro, even in bosses, which works really great to get the aggro off your main DPS or Ganyu. Now, let's talk about her second skill, which is her Celestial Shower. Now, this skill is actually pretty insane. The thing with this skill is it's a huge AoE that does constant damage over time. And what is ridiculous with this is, look at this. The duration of the skill is 15 seconds. Okay, and the cooldown of the skill is 15 seconds, and the energy cost is really low. So basically, that means is the field that it leaves out, it adds cryo damage on all the enemies you're fighting. And what is really nice with that is, first, if it only added cryo damage, that would be enough for me to like it, but it actually also does damage. And what does that mean is that adds, and if you have high energy recharge on your Ganyu, this skill can constantly be out all the time. Now, what I mean with that, let me show you guys instead of just trying to keep explaining to you guys what this means. So now I will have enough energy recharge or energy to use my burst, my elemental burst. So I will use this, and look at this, okay? Look at the elemental burst, how it's charging up. I'm getting all this elemental energy. I'm not doing anything else with it. I'm just running around, and I already have the elemental burst again. And the second elemental burst is done, I have it again. So you can constantly keep having this cryo field around, and it works super nice if you have main DPSs such as Razor, which I run, or Kaching works really nice with her. If you have her out, you can use the elemental burst, switch to another character, do some DPS, and always come back to Ganyu as a sub DPS or a support, which works really good. And then you also have her aggro spell, and these damage numbers she's hitting is wild. So it will always keep getting energy for you, and so having good energy recharge on her will be good. Now, I will say I kind of want to get her because if you guys know, I main Razor. She would work amazing with the Razor. If I can combine the Q and his elemental burst, I can keep just switching between them and having super contact constantly with Razor, which would be ridiculous. But my Riz is already that strong that I don't really need to add Ganyu in my team. And if you're looking for a main DPS to add, and like you have good support, you have good sub DPS, but you're looking for a main DPS, I wouldn't advise investing too much into Ganyu, because I don't see her being a main DPS. She'll be really useful against a group of enemies like I showed you guys just now, but against boss enemies she could be useful because she has the aggro with the E skill, but you want to be using another character if you're fighting like boss enemies. Combining her with characters like Sucrose would be nice, or Venti if you guys have Venti for AoE, but overall main DPS wise not that great. Now artifacts wise, what I would advise you guys to get will not be these Braveheart sets. Okay, what you want to get for her, if you don't have Noblesse Oblige set at all in any of your team, get Noblesse Oblige on her. It will be super useful. Her elemental burst constantly being out will increase damage of her elemental burst and everybody else's elemental burst. Now if you want to build her more DPS wise, okay, there's a lot of good options for her. So in the new domain that they introduced, if you guys haven't unlocked it yet, I made a video on it how to unlock it. They added a new cryo artifact set. Now this cryo artifact set is really good for you and good for Ganyu, because the cryo, even the 2 set, I would even run the 2 set if you guys don't want to run the 4 set, but here it is. Cryo damage bonus by 15%, and when a character attacks an opponent affected by cryo, the crit rate is increased by 20%. If the opponent is frozen, crit rate is increased additional by 20%. Now this could be good, however, you want to have Ganyu out when you're using it, and as you guys can see, you don't want to be having Ganyu out on the field that much. You want to be using her elemental skill, her elemental burst, and then you want to switch to a character. So what I would advise is maybe have a 2 set of this cryo set, or potentially 4 set if you guys want to, and a Noblesse Oblige set, either 2 set, to get that nice damage buff on the elemental burst. So that would be my sets that I would put on Ganyu. Again, she's a sub DPS, so you don't want to be using her bow too much. Her bow attack and her normal attack, they're decent, but I wouldn't be using them too much if you want to rock with her. Now, talking about her bow and weapons you want to be using is, again, you want to have some good energy recharge on her because of the elemental burst, but it doesn't have to be that high. In my opinion, like let's see, the energy recharge is at 160%. It's actually really high. 160% energy recharge is pretty high on her. She will constantly be having her elemental burst when you're using it, so you don't have to worry too much about the energy recharge, but I would definitely have a little bit above 110, 120% energy recharge. But other than that, you don't have to focus too much energy recharge. But having just a bow would be nice, and then having some substats on your artifacts would be a good thing to have energy recharge on. But overall, attack is good. Now you could build her potentially HP build. I wouldn't really advise to do it, but her E skill, if you want to use her as a full-on support, you could build her HP build, because the HP, the higher her HP, base HP is, the higher her the endurance of the Ice Lotuses. Now this is her base HP, by the way, so you can't really get HP percentages, so you want to have her base HP increase. But I would build her overall as a sub DPS, elemental mastery, attack, crit, super. I would build her very high crit, and I think she gets crit damage when leveling up. Now looking at her constellation, if you guys want to super invest in her, you could do it. Now all of the constellations are great for her, increasing her elemental burst and her elemental skill. Now I think, in my opinion, the elemental burst is just broken, and this, I like this 4th constellation here, because everybody standing in the celestial shower takes increased damage, which was already broken in the first place. This effect strengthens over time, so, and you know that you can keep having the elemental burst out all the time, so they will take at 5%, increase by 5% every 3 seconds. So they will take a lot of damage standing inside it. So the 4th constellation is definitely a constellation you want to go for if you really want to invest in Ganyu. But other than that, not too much to say about her. Again, if you guys want to have a main DPS in your team, you're missing a main DPS, you probably want to save your Primo Gems. But if you're looking for a secondary DPS or a support, Cryo, she's wonderful, amazing, okay? And she looks sick. She's the GOAT after all. But that is honestly my opinion on Ganyu. So I'm thinking about getting her because I have Razor as a main DPS, and if you guys have a good main DPS, you want a good either support or sub DPS, she's wonderful. Her elemental burst being active at all times would be ridiculous, and it should work really good with Q. I think it's, if I said it wrong, the Hydro character should work really good with it, adding freeze effect constantly to the enemies. If you guys enjoyed, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I really hope you guys get your Ganyu. Let's end this video with a roll, with a wish. I'm gonna do one. For me, she's worth a 10 wish. Now I'm saving my Primo Gems for Rosaria. Okay, if you guys did the story, you guys know who she is. I really want to get her, or Zhao. I'm looking for another main DPS. That's why I'm not rolling for Ganyu, because I'm looking for a main DPS. I got scammed when I rolled for Zhongli. I really want to be main DPS, but you know, he didn't turn out like his. So let's do one roll. Hope maybe we get Ganyu, maybe we don't. Let's see here. No Ganyu for me, guys. But that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Let's see what we get here. Nothing. We get nothing, guys. We get nothing. Okay, it is what it is. Did we get something? Did we get something? Oh, we got a Q. Nice. Okay. See, I was talking about Q just now. We got Q and Ganyu. Maybe I need to get Ganyu now. Who knows? But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.